Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So today I just want to share with you a skill that's helped me profoundly, and that skill is being able to deliberately close your mind or open your mind on command. And the reason that you would want to do that is because sometimes you're going to be listening to people who are speaking about things that disempower you, that are bad for your goals, that you just don't want to believe, that you don't want to accept. And if you don't deliberately tell yourself, I don't believe that, that's useless for me, I'm going to ignore that, I'm going to let that go, then you'll start to build this congregation, this conglomerate of nonsense in your mind, because you keep adopting bad beliefs from people and bad values from people and bad ideas and thoughts and gossip and just a bunch of useless shit that you don't want. And so closing your mind is not a bad thing. Closing your mind is a great skill if you're using it deliberately. Having a closed mind is a bad thing. It's useless because you can't learn with a closed mind. When it comes to learning, you want to open your mind, because your mind, as Jim Kwik says, is like a parachute. It only works when it opens. So if your mind's not open, it doesn't work when it comes to learning. But sometimes you don't want to learn from the people you're listening to, right? Because like I said, sometimes they're just useless people. You don't want to listen to the single person or your single friend tell you how to be in a relationship. You don't want to listen to the homeless person about how to get rich, how to make money. You could still listen and learn from these people. You could still listen and learn from your single friend about how to work on your health, because maybe they're good at that. Or from the homeless person, maybe he talks about, having a good heart, and that's something he actually has. There's people know things. Every single person that you meet and come in contact with knows things that you don't, because of their life experience and what they've, thought of, read, and just built over their years of living, right? And so you can't condense everybody's living into your years just by reading, just by learning. You don't know everything, okay? It's impossible. So it's good to learn from everybody, but it's not good to learn everything from everybody. You understand? And so bad advice will be costly to you. The most costly advice you'll ever take is bad advice, if you decide to use it. And if you don't decide deliberately not to accept information about how to make money from the homeless guy, and you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that, I see that, I'm gonna go use that. Thanks, homeless guy who's telling me how to make money. I'm gonna go do that now. What you'll find is that you'll fail at making money. You'll not get any results. You'll just never make progress, and you'll be mad about it. And you'll actually ruin your own life by following his advice on how to make money. You'll ruin your own life by following the single person on how to be in a relationship, or the fat person on how to get fit, or the diabetic person on how to be healthy, or the anything, right? You get the point. And so closing your mind and opening your mind deliberately is a skill that you should practice. And you want to open your mind to things that you're learning in the direction of your goals. When you're reading a book, when you're taking a new course, when you're watching a new video on a topic or a skill that you want to learn, on a problem that you want to solve, when you're listening to your masters, you don't want to close your mind. You want to slide towards the other side. The most successful people in the world are the most open-minded people in the world, but they're also the people that deliberately close their minds to useless shit. They stand guard at the gate of their mind, right? But they're also the doorman. They also let in the useful stuff. They don't just stand guard and block everything out. That keeps people dumb. The people who think they know the most are usually the dumbest people. The people who know they know nothing are the smartest people. And it's that knowing that they know nothing, or they know a very small amount, that keeps them learning. It's the thinking they know everything that keeps stupid people, closed-minded people, from learning anything, because they already know everything, right? I remember reading in Principles by Ray Dalio, and he says at the very beginning of the book that he knows about 1% of all of the things he wishes he could know. He knows about 1% of everything that he needs to know for his life, for his goals, for his business. 1%. And if Ray Dalio, after living for 80 plus years and becoming one of the most successful people in the world by money standards, but also by other, long relationship and being happy and fulfilled in these types of things, he's successful in many metrics, right? And literally the number one hedge fund in the entire world, not in the city, not in the state, not in the country, not in the continent, not in the anything, not in the province, in the entire world, he has the number one hedge fund, okay? Anyone who gets to number one in their field, study that person, because getting to number one is not an easy task, right? And so they know things you don't. But not only is that true for everybody, right? Everybody knows things you don't. It's also true for them that they know things that you don't, that are hyper useful. for the goals that you want to get. If you're studying, Warren Buffett on speaking about money, listen, because he's not only not the homeless guy speaking about money, it's Warren fucking Buffett, right? And so pay attention to masters of the thing that they're doing because their information matters a lot. It produces insane results. Number one knows things that the rest of the world needs to know to ever progress in those areas. You want to study masters, the outstanding, the best of the best, because if you study people who are good or even great or even excellent, but not outstanding, number one, if you study those people, you're going to get worse results than you could have gotten otherwise if you did study the best in the world. So I say focus all your time and energy on studying the best in the world, stealing information, stealing beliefs, stealing values, stealing lessons from them, and applying it to your life. That's how you get the best results, or at least that's how I get the best results. So you want to be able to open your mind on command. And how do you do that? I like to study with a method that I learned from a brain coach called Jim Quick. I mentioned him earlier. And he teaches a method called FAST, F-A-S-T. FAST, very simply, is forget, active, state, teach. Okay? And I'll explain it briefly. Forgetting everything you know, right? That is what you want to do when you go in to learn anything new from somebody who's really good at that thing, who has the results that you want in your area of life that you chose, right? Health, wealth, relationships, whatever. Forget 3 different things you're going to need to forget. This is for F, right? In fast learning. Forget everything you know about the topic temporarily. Forget everything outside of this that you're learning in what you're doing right now. Forget everything. Remove all distractions. Don't be trying to focus on 2 things at once. Your brain only focuses all its energy on one cognitive task at a time. So if you want to get the best results, focus on one thing. Remove everything else. Sit in a room with nothing else to do except work. Forget everything you know. Forget all the things around you, and forget your limitations. Because if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. And so open your mind to the fact that you can use this. You can get results just like anyone else can. Okay, that's forget. Number 2 is active. Be active. Doing what? Be active with taking notes. Be active with using what you learn. And be active in asking questions. 3 questions that you're going to want to ask for all your learning and all of life as you just go through it are as follows. Or I think it's 4 questions actually. Number 1 is what? What did I just learn? Number 2 is how? How can I use this? Number 3 is why? Why must I use this? Why is this important to me? Right? And then number 4 is when. When will I use this? In my day, in my life, in the year, with my relationship, in my business, tomorrow at 5 o'clock? Where? Right? Schedule when you're going to use things, because then you'll actually use them. And that's, of course, what produces results and evidence. And we remember what we use, because what we use gets us results. And so we forget all the things that we don't use. And so you want to constantly be taking information and then writing about it, how you're going to use it, how it's useful for you. And you'll start to remember it because it becomes important to your mind. And so that is number 2. Forget, active. Next is state. All learning is state dependent. If you're bored and not confident and not having any fun, you will learn nothing. You will retain nothing. You'll use nothing. If you're happy, think of like a child. If you can get in the state of a child while you learn, you'll learn the most, okay? Have fun, be high energy, be happy, be confident, be open-minded. Know you know nothing, right? That's what children have such an advantage over people that are, adults. It's because they know nothing. So they're already doing F. They already forget about everything else. They already forget about what they think they know. They already forget about their limitations. They know they don't know anything, right? So that is state. You want to be in a confident, curious, fun state. It's why we can learn music or songs the fastest. It's why you can remember 2,000 or 5,000 songs. It's because you were having fun learning them, and you didn't even realize you were learning while you were learning, right? And you're able to repeat all these songs from memory. It's because you're having fun, and they're engaging other senses too, like your ears and obviously your body and these types of things. So anyways, that is active. Be active. That is state, excuse me. Be in a high energy state. Be confident. Be open-minded. Be curious. Be like a child, and you'll learn the most. And the last one is teach. Learn with the intention to teach somebody else what you're learning right now. Learn with the intention to teach. Because if you learn with the intention to become a teacher, to content, maybe you're going to go make content to your sister, to your brother, to your mom, to your friend, whatever it is. If you put someone in mind that you can teach the thing that you're learning to, you'll focus more. You'll catch little nuanced details that you would have missed otherwise. And this is why teaching is so powerful. Not only for the fact that the teacher learns twice, or thrice, or as many times as you want to teach it. So the teacher actually gets more out of teaching than the student gets out of learning from the teacher teach, right? But when you learn with the intention to teach, even if you don't go pass on the information to somebody, then you'll focus more. You'll be more, like if I told you that tomorrow The exact things that I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to teach somebody else. And it's a group of people, it's 20 people, and you're going to have to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. And if you don't do it, you're going to die, right? If I told you that, how much more focused would you be on the information that I'm giving you? How many more notes would you take? How many more details would you capture, right? You'd be more focused just because you knew you had to teach this to somebody. So that is the benefits of learning fast. FAST. Forget is the one that's going to open your mind. So forget everything that you know and all that stuff. Be active and you're asking questions and you're using what you learn so you retain it and all that stuff. Get in a high energy state, be in a childlike state, and then learn with the intention to teach. That is how you open your mind to information from somebody who's smarter than you or better than you at a certain topic or skill or problem, or just has results that you want, who you want to learn from. If you're studying a master, open your mind. But if you're studying a fool, how do you close your mind? You simply, like I said earlier, you simply decide, I'm not going to believe that. That's useless. This person doesn't have results I want. I'm not going to listen to them. And it's not that you don't like this person. Maybe it's your own dad telling you about business, but he's never ran a business. It's not that you don't like him. It's not that he's a bad person, but it's that his information is useless to you. And you don't take bad advice because bad advice is the most costly advice you can possibly take. It's just going to slow you down, put you through more pain, more suffering, needless suffering, right? Because you could listen to someone who has built a business. It's just as easy. You have the internet right here. You have books right here, right? And so that is how you deliberately open your mind and deliberately close your mind, depending on the situation that you're in. Only listen to and believe and choose to believe things that empower you achieving your goals, that build your skills up, that build you up, that build your sense of self up. Only listen, say, believe, repeat things that empower you. Don't listen, say, repeat, or do, or be around people who disempower you. Move away from them. Open your mind when you're near things that empower you. Close your mind when you're near things that disempower you. You'll live a better life. You'll learn a lot more that's effective for your goals. And that's just what I wanted to share with you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you very soon because I have lots of content coming out. I'm not going to put a certain schedule on it because I always say I'm going to upload every day or some shit and I deviate. So I'm not going to do that. But I will keep uploading it and posting consistently, weekly at the bare minimum, and helping you out with something useful every single day as I'm building my businesses in real life. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.